It's really wild to think about how Luke and I ended up singing How I Learned to Pray together. A few years ago, I was going through my social media apps, and I opened Twitter, and there's a tweet from Luke Combs saying how much he loved my debut record, Rubber Band, which at this point is 10 years old. Actually, the same week that we will release this version of How I Learned to Pray is the 10-year mark for the release of the album Rubber Band. And basically what Luke was saying in that tweet was, you know, I really love this record, and it came out at a time when I was getting started, and it was inspiring to him. And eventually, from that tweet, you know, my people and his people got in touch, and we set up a day to write, and thus began my friendship with Luke, which has included being in the studio for him for the making of his most recent albums, and just traveling with him to go write more and more, and just a real friendship there, a real relationship, and a real mutual respect. And I love the way that us singing How I Learned to Pray captures that whole journey of the last 10 years in one song, and he sounds really good singing it. It's fun to hear him sing that first verse.
Like, how are you going to get Luke Combs? And, you know, he's the biggest star on the planet, you know, right now. He always loved the song, didn't he?
You know, Luke was a fan of How I Learned to Pray, and that's really what kicked this off, what gave me the idea that, you know, I think if I asked him to sing this, he would. And my favorite thing about Luke being on How I Learned to Pray, traditionally, if you're the collaborator, and there are a lot of collaborations right now in country music, you take the second verse. And most people on Compadres took the second verse. But Luke, he's like, no, I'm just going to kick this song off. And I love that.
You sent me that song, and we played with Luke somewhere. It was like in Canada or something. We did a couple shows, and the first night he came up to me and he goes, "Hey, I heard you working with Charlie on that thing," and I was like, "Yeah, man." He goes, "Man, that damn song, How I Learned to Pray, hits me every time I hear it." You know, I'm just like, it's a great song, and at that point, I don't think I'd even heard the song, and I was like, "Oh, cool." So I guess Charlie and Luke had been talking. So I said, "Hey, send me that How I Learned to Pray thing. Luke's been talking about it." He sent it to me, and I was like, Jesus. I mean, that's a monster song. You know, it does everything that you want for a Grammy-winning song, a hit song, and then you get Chuck and Luke together, you know, with a little bit of tweak on that production. It's just like the trifecta of like, this is beautiful. This is great. You know what I mean? And when you said Luke was going to sing the first verse, I was like, well, that's also different. So we have a bunch of different things going on. Because I don't think I've ever worked on anything like that.
Yeah.
That's how I learned to pray.